we highlight a true success story and meet a powerful role model for Latino youth seeking higher education. It's all here on the next Latino Motion. Join us.
Choose to get lost in the woods to gain experience in forest management.
Choose to travel through time to understand the past.
Choose to soar to pursue a career in dance.
Stockton University offers 50 high-quality academic programs, small class sizes, and affordable tuition. Choose to match your interests and talents at one of New Jersey's nationally ranked universities.
Latino Motion with Bert Lopez is presented by Latino Motion Public Affairs Media, a New Jersey nonprofit corporation, and Stockton University. This edition of Latino Motion with Bert Lopez is brought to you by the HD Studios at the campus of Stockton University. Funding for Latino Motion is provided by Atlanticare, healthcare you can believe in. Atlantic City Electric, energy for a changing world. And South Jersey Gas. Welcome to Latino Motion, a weekly interview show highlighting issues impacting New Jersey's Latino community while advancing understanding of Latino cultural heritage and contributions to our society. And here is your host, Bert Lopez.
Buenos dias and welcome to Latino Motion. A few years ago, I had the great opportunity to hear a true success story and to meet a powerful male role model for our Latino youth. I'm talking about Pedro Santana. And Pedro, thank you for coming back here on Latino Motion.
Thank you, Bert, for having me. I was so excited when you reached out to have me on the show. It's a pleasure to be here.
Well, I want to talk about your success story because I think you have an important role. You're the Dean of Students here at Stockton University, and as a Latino, it's a very important role. But I want to talk about the story behind that and how you got started. Tell me a little bit about how you got started in your role to academia.
Okay. Well, I can tell you a little bit about myself. Okay. My parents immigrated here to the U.S. from the Dominican Republic, and they brought me over here as an infant. I grew up in a small community in Washington Heights in New York. Actually, at the time when I was growing up, the one distinctive characteristic, we had the highest homicide rate in all the 5 boroughs. It was also the height of the crack epidemic, and gangs were at their peak in New York City, so yes.
So as a youth, growing up in that environment must have been very difficult.
Yes, it was very difficult, but I had the good fortune that I had very loving and supportive parents. My mother had a 3rd grade education, and she never learned how to read. My father graduated high school. They didn't know what a higher education was, but when the time came for me to go to college, they wanted that for me. And so much so that they labored extensively, and as a result of their support, I attended high school 13 hours a day during my 11th grade. I graduated high school in 3 years, wow. And I was accepted to the university at Buffalo under their Educational Opportunity Program at the age of 16.
So how important was that for you?
It was the blessing that I always looked for and sought after. When I went to the university, institutions of higher education can sometimes feel a little bit cold.
Right.
And for individuals such as myself, coming from the Latino community, to find factors that contributed to my success or connectedness, I struggled at first, but I had the good fortune of having a wonderful counselor in my EOP program. His name was Carlos Oliviencia, wow. And he made all the world of a difference for me in helping me and supporting me, challenging me, and his love extended beyond the university campus.
That's amazing, and it's also very critical because this is the time where a lot of Latinos fail. They may make it to the college, but maybe they don't stay. For whatever reason, whether it's economic factors or other factors, there's a big dropout rate in the Latino community within higher education. but that wasn't your case.
Absolutely. No, I had, like I said, wonderful individuals that contributed towards my growth and development as a young man, that always challenged me and supported me, that also captivated my attention in terms of making me want to learn more about our culture and our heritage as a Latino community. And I became highly involved in a Latino fraternal organization and did a lot of great, wonderful work at the university.
It sounds like great advice for someone that's thinking about it. Going into college, first of all, is finding a mentor. And the mentor may not necessarily be at the college. You were lucky to have someone there at the college, but certainly having a mentor is very critical, don't you think?
Absolutely. I think that that is one of the most important factors. And in reality, multiple mentors are a wonderful recommendation, because from each person you can learn different things that you can take with yourself throughout your life.
And the second, you got engaged. So you were involved in the clubs. You really got engaged. Sometimes for Latinos that might be hard to do, and they disengage, and that leads to failure.
Absolutely. I think that one other thing that's a benefit to the Latino community is the fact that we're very humble a community, but I think sometimes it's important for us to acknowledge and recognize that we're very humble, but we're also very hardworking. We're also very thoughtful. So I challenge the community to continue to find the strength and the courage from within to persist, to ask questions, and to challenge the status quo, because without that voice, the Latino voice, things get come to pass without any of our input, and it is important that we be vocal.
Very, very important to be vocal, and certainly having the mentor, getting engaged, very important factors. How about academic in terms of having the funds to go to college?
Okay, so for me, I had the good fortune of being a part of the EOP program. I had the good fortune in my first master's program, so I had been awarded a full fellowship because of my academic strength. But no, there's other opportunities for members of the community to apply for a variety of scholarships. They're community-based, they're national.
We want to talk about some of that, and obviously as a Dean of Students, you have a wealth of information in that area. We're just going to take a quick break. We'll be right back with more Latino Motion.
Latino Motion with Bert Lopez is presented by Latino Motion Public Affairs Media, a New Jersey nonprofit corporation. Join us online at www.latinomotion.tv. Find us on YouTube, Facebook, and Twitter. We encourage your comments and contributions for show topics.
Welcome back to Latino Motion. We continue our discussion with Pedro Santana here at Stockton University. And Pedro, we were talking about the story that you have, success story, and how you've achieved not only to go to school, but to even go for your master's degree. You also have a doctorate degree as well. So you continue your education. You laid out some key factors in terms of having a mentor and also getting engaged at the college. We were talking about funding, because that's where we often have Latinos drop out. Maybe they don't want to go get in debt and find other opportunities to pay for college. How critical is that, and what guidance can you give?
I think that it is up to every single Latino, every single individual that is capable of unlocking their human potential to invest in them, in themselves. And I think that there's a multitude of resources out there within the respective local communities and nationally available so that students can subsidize their cost. There are other resources out there by way of loans, but there are a lot of scholarships out there. And I think it is critical that people invest in themselves, because if they do not choose to invest in themselves, then who will? And the reality is that a higher education opens many more doors as you continue to move out throughout your life. The knowledge, skills, and abilities that are honed and developed in the classroom through formal teaching and learning and with the faculty, but also external to the classroom with work being done with classmates through co-curricular activities are critical towards developing the whole student. And that is where we are very mindful and focused on the development of the whole student and the whole ecosystem and environment of support here at Stockton.
And I know you're very in tune with making sure that there's retention, particularly for the minority students, which is often a problem in terms of retention. You have quite a number of programs here at Stockton, and I know you're wearing a pin, Sankofa.
Yeah, Sankofa.
One of those programs. Tell me a little bit about that.
So Sankofa was an initiative born a few years ago. Sankofa is a retention initiative that focuses on minority men. Minority men have long been challenged when it comes to being retained within higher education. There's countless articles, conference presentations that are done on the concerns of the decline of the male population overall in academia, but more specifically, Black and Latino men. So this initiative aims to help engage those African American, Latino, Asian men on our campus in a multitude of activities, mentorship, formal and informal. And this is our way of helping show them what Stockton is capable of and what they're capable of here within our community.
A very critical step, certainly, to support the minority students and anyone that may be going to a college that perhaps doesn't have those kind of programs. What is your recommendation? Where should they turn?
I think that each student should turn to the Dean of Students office on their respective campus and ask for those opportunities for engagement. How can I seek out a mentor on my university campus? What programs are there to help me, help develop me, and support me? What opportunities for engagement within clubs and organizations are there? Can you tell me about some of the activities that your students are engaged in, whether it be study abroad, internships, and other kinds of opportunities to really develop skills that come in handy within the workplace. In addition to Sankofa, EOF is another one of our hallmark programs. I described for you that I'm an EOP student from the University of Buffalo.
Right.
For me, I came full circle in 2006 when I was entrusted with becoming the Assistant Dean and Director for the Educational Opportunity Fund here at Stockton. And EOF has a history that was born out of the riots in Newark.
Right.
And there's campus programs all across the state of New Jersey providing opportunity and access to individuals from underrepresented groups.
And we heard from one of the board members at Stockton University, Nalilda Valentin, who went through the EAF program as well, and it's another success story. So very, very important to get and take advantage of all of those type of programs. Talk to me about CARE, the CARE program.
So CARE, coordinated actions to retain and educate. That's the full meaning of the acronym CARE. And what it is, it's in 2007, we noticed something very unique. The EOF students that were coming from economic and academic disadvantaged backgrounds were persisting at the rates very much similar to regular admitted students here at the university. So if you look at the 6-year graduation rate for the regular admit students to the university, that rate was at about 65%. For the EOF students, it was at 61%. So one of the things that we did, I got a few of my team members around the room and I said, what contributed to that? You know, what factors contributed to our students coming in from disadvantaged backgrounds almost persisting to the degree of those that came from backgrounds that had all access and all opportunity? And some of the things were mentorship. Some of the things were the support programs in place, financial programs. Other things were activities that were done specific for the community. And that's when we came up with the CARE program. And CARE attempts to replicate that EOF experience, but for the whole university and for the masses at the university, because we know that not everybody qualifies for EOF because there's state guidelines in terms of financial eligibility. So we wanted to make sure that we did not leave any student out there without any support.
So it's a very important program, and we're going to continue that discussion and the value of that program. We're going to take a quick break. We'll be right back with more Latino Motion.
Latino Motion with Bert Lopez is presented by Latino Motion Public Affairs Media, a New Jersey nonprofit corporation. Join us online at www.latinomotion.tv. Find us on YouTube, Facebook, and Twitter. We encourage your comments and contributions for show topics.
Welcome back to Latino Motion. We continue our discussion with Pedro Santana, who is the Dean of Students at Stockton University. And Pedro, we were talking about the CARE program, very important program, obviously, to continue the success of students at campus at Stockton University. But those are the very type of programs that every student should look wherever they go to school.
Absolutely. And CARE for us is an attempt to replicate the EOF experience. And EOF is very student-centric. CARE does just that. We have a coalition of volunteers, about 70 faculty and staff that volunteer their time to mentor our students. We have about 40 peer mentors that also are students helping other students find their way through the Stockton University experience. And lastly, we have about 10 volunteer tutors that all work as part of the program to support our students and encourage their success.
Very important. Let's talk about some of the community initiatives, some of the programs that you're also taking place here at Stockton.
Okay, so one of those initiatives is our Missing and Exploited Children's program. We actually had one on May 23rd of this year. May 25th is actually Missing and Exploited Children's Day nationally. So we had an educational awareness program in Atlantic City at our Dante Hall facility. We're planning another one for this October. And there's a coalition of community-based agencies. Stockton is also an integral part of that, trying to get out more information on things that we could do to prevent the exploitation of our children.
Very, very important. And you got a couple other initiatives.
Yes, another initiative that we have in Atlantic City is a partnership with the Atlantic City Board of Education. We will be bringing 300 young boys to our campus from middle schools and high school within Atlantic City for a day-long conference. So, and we will be sharing with them different perspectives as to, and different ways in which they can pursue a higher education. They will get to interact with some of our students and to learn about our students' stories of success by way of a documentary where we are actually showcasing Stockton University students from Atlantic City that have made it here and have gone on and contributed within the Atlantic City community, coming full circle. Two other programs that we have coming up, Bert, that are pivotal for the community are our Latino Visitation Day, which is on November 16th. And on November 17th is we have a visitation from Dr. Santa Ono. He's the president of the University of British Columbia in Canada. And he was one of the first academic leaders to go public with his story about his struggles with mental health. He had attempted to commit suicide on 2 occasions, from what I can recall. And he's coming to Stockton University to share his story. It's going to be very powerful. It's going to speak to the students, the faculty, and the staff here, and the administration at the university, and the community.
So not only are you engaging the students, but certainly it's very important for universities such as Stockton to also engage the community and deal with a lot of the issues that impact the community.
Absolutely. And I think that Stockton has been here since the 70s, September 71, this campus opened. But even prior to this campus opening, we opened at the Mayflower Hotel in Atlantic City.
And we don't have a lot of time to go into a lot of depth, but certainly there's a lot of development, including a new facility in Atlantic City.
Absolutely. The AC Gateway project here at the university, we're so excited about that. But also we have some projects on the main campus. Our Campus Quad project, We have the largest enrollment in the history of the university, the most diverse class in the history of the university, and our excellence in national rankings continues to climb north.
Leadership such as yours and everyone at Stockton has helped to achieve that. Thank you so much. Unfortunately, we don't have any more time, but thank you so much for joining us once again here on Latino Motion. And thank you for joining us at home once again on Latino Motion.
Choose to get your feet wet, to learn more about protecting our environment.
Choose to read minds, to understand the human brain.
Choose to get your hands dirty, to create a masterpiece.
Stockton University offers 50 high-quality academic programs, small class sizes, and affordable tuition. Choose to match your interests and talents at one of New Jersey's nationally ranked universities.
Funding for Latino Motion is provided by Atlanticare, healthcare you can believe in. Atlantic City Electric, energy for a changing world. And South Jersey Gas.